Welcome back to the Casey Wally channel. Today we are taking on Penguin Zero, Moist Critical, Charlie, whatever else, whatever other name he goes by. Today he has attacked one of my favorite foods there is, lettuce. Lettuce is one of the best foods we have, and I will go over why. I will go over point by point why lettuce is important and how this attack is absolutely unacceptable, Charlie. Point by point. All right, so we're just getting right into it. First of all, point number one. The man claims lettuce has no flavor. He's almost right. Lettuce has very little flavor to it. It almost kind of depends on which lettuce you're referring to, but kind of have to agree with him. It has very little flavor. Although, because of that, you could argue that it's not really going to take over whatever you're putting it in. It's not the star of the show. It never is the star of the show. It's more like a blank canvas with which you are painting your beautiful work of whatever art you're doing. That's what it's for. Second point. Texture of a soggy sponge when put on a burger. Texture of a soggy sponge. No. Only if you leave that lettuce on there like overnight. Okay, if your lettuce is fresh, if it is fresh lettuce, you're good. It's gonna have that crunch to it, you know? In fact, let's talk about the crunch a little bit, because yes, like he says, it has like a quasi crunch. It's not like a full on, it's not like eating an onion or a celery or even like a potato chip. It doesn't have that like crunch that you feel in your head when you bite down on it. It's like crunch light. But there's a time and a place for that. You can't make a salad without that crunch light. Would you want an entire salad to have the intense crunch of celery? No, it would be awful, horrible. Excuse me. Let's see. Point number 3. No nutrition. This is factually incorrect, Charlie. How dare you? How dare you? All right, so I have it Googled here because I don't know the stuff off the top of my head. So, nutrition facts. Although it is low in fiber, it's high in minerals such as calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and potassium. It's like a banana. It's like a banana. It's naturally low in sodium, I would hope. Plus, romaine lettuce is packed with vitamin C, K, and foliate. I have no idea what foliate is, but I'm assuming it's good for you. It's like a banana. It's a good source of beta carotene. Maybe alpha carotene would be better, but it at least has beta carotene, which converts into vitamin A in the body. It has 1 gram of fiber per serving, 8 calories, which is super low, and only 1.5. It has carbs? 1.5 grams of carbs per serving. I mean, technically every food has carbs, but I would not expect that with lettuce. Anyways, its scientific name is Lactucia sativa. I had no idea it even had a scientific name. Again, I guess that makes sense. I had no idea. Thank you, Charlie, for making me look that up. So, it has the nutrition. Point number 4. You cannot only eat lettuce. Yeah, that's true. You cannot just only eat lettuce. You can't do that with any food, really. I mean, would you only eat meat? Would you only eat potato? Would you only eat carrots? Charlie, I know you happen to be a big fan of the red bell pepper. I myself also love the red bell pepper. You wouldn't only eat red bell pepper, would you? And in fact, at some point in his video, he mentions how onion is basically a perfect substitute for it. You wouldn't only eat onion. No, you wouldn't. So of course you wouldn't only eat lettuce. You would die. Pretty sure you'd die. But you can say that about most foods. All right. Point number 5. Salad is not healthy. All right, so he goes over how it is true salads are, typically speaking, if you go to any restaurant, those salads are very corrupted. I believe to quote him, something along the lines of, ranch soup. And that's true. A lot of restaurants make that mistake because really they're just trying to make it taste as good as they can so that you'll come back to the restaurant and order it again and convince yourself, "Oh, and it was a healthy meal too." No, it wasn't. But then again, you can say the same thing about any restaurant food involving any of their food that they cook. If you order a hot dog, if you order a burger, if you order a pizza, if you order a linguine, it doesn't matter. All of it is corrupted food that if you want the healthy version, you're going to have to make yourself. And salad is no different. Point number 6. What did I write? Oh, salad is only meant to pad out the meal. No, this one I almost have to agree with, even though it's not true for me personally. My favorite dish in my entire life, the best food I've ever had in my entire life, excuse me again, is the Caesar salad. When a Caesar salad is done correctly, I think it's the best tasting dish ever made. When I make my own Caesar salad, I put my own dressing together. I chop the lettuce myself. I do it in a specific way because I don't want too much of that core, because the core is all crunch. I like the leafy texture to it. So, for me personally, no, I don't use salad to pad out meals. But it is true that if you want to, you can use a salad to help essentially be fuller faster for less calories. Again, if it's a not very corrupted salad, if it's just obviously, if your stomach is full of bread, that's a lot of calories. If your stomach is full of meat, that's still technically a lot of calories. If your stomach is full of vegetables, not so many calories. Salad can pad out a meal, but it can also be the main event. For me personally, it's the main event. For many other people, I do understand they use it to pad out the salad, but then again, it works. It does work. You can use a salad to pad out a meal so that instead of having a stomach full of pasta, you have half vegetables and half pasta. That's a lot less calories. Last point. E. coli. Yes, so there does tend to be about an outbreak of E. coli with specifically romaine lettuce, which is one of the best lettuces there is out there. Now, okay, this is true, and this sucks, but you know why this happens? Oh, first of all, I'm not an expert. I could be wrong about this. Again, I just simply Googled it to find out why does this happen, and from what I learned, the reason why these E. coli outbreaks happen with lettuce, it's actually because of the neighboring farms. So, apparently, again, according to Google, I could be wrong, but according to Google, the only way that lettuce ends up with E. coli is because it has, I kid you not, fecal matter on it. Yes, fecal matter. Generally speaking, from pigs. This is how it happens. Is that disgusting? Yeah, that is disgusting. Disgusting. But it's not really the lettuce's fault. It's not the plant's fault. It happens, and that's because farming here in the US is horrible, and the meat industry is the worst thing ever. But it's not the lettuce's fault. Don't blame the lettuce. It's not the lettuce's fault. If we farmed things better, if we did our agriculture better, this wouldn't happen. It would never happen. Lastly, last point, he compares it to spinach, saying, why would you do any sort of lettuce? And for the most part, he's right. Spinach is awesome. I like spinach too. I put spinach on my burgers. Sometimes, depending on the type of sandwich I'm doing, I might put it in a sandwich. More so like I put it in like a panini. It can go on, certain types of pasta. Spinach is awesome. And he is right. It is, nutritionally speaking, it's a bit better. But there's nothing wrong with having a food that offers very little except for texture. There's nothing wrong with that. I will say this, because obviously, I've been mainly talking about romaine lettuce, which is what I've mainly been defending here, because it's one of my favorites. I think it's also, I don't know what the most common lettuce you'll find in like restaurants and people's households is. I actually don't know. But of course, I've mainly been talking about romaine lettuce. But you know what I'll even defend? I will even defend iceberg lettuce. Yes, the most useless thing you're gonna find in the grocery store. It's basically just filled with water. That's it. It's a lettuce that has water in it and almost nothing else. If you fed it to a guinea pig, your guinea pig would be starving, literally starving. But you know why I will defend iceberg lettuce? Because while it offers almost no nutritional value whatsoever, it's not bad for you. It's not like it's bad to eat it. You know, if I'm putting a little bit in my salad for just that little bit, excuse me again, extra crunch, or if I'm putting it on a burger or in a taco or literally whatever, I'm just adding the texture. He also mentions a sandwich he saw that in his opinion was completely ruined because he added like 2 pounds of it on top. And I'll agree. When it comes to adding lettuce to say like your sandwich or your burger, less is essentially more. You don't want to add more lettuce than there is. Like you don't want like a thicker amount of lettuce than you have of like the meat patty, right? Like that's ridiculous. So, my official response video to you, Charlie, how dare you attack lettuce? It is one of our best foods. Anyways, enjoyed doing the video. Also got to learn the scientific name for lettuce in this video, Lactucia sativa. There you have it. All right. See ya.